Hi everyone, welcome back to Spiritual Growth Tarot. I'm Denise and this reading is going to be for Marco Rubio's karma, and I probably will only use the tarot. Let's see what comes through, but I'm using this deck right now, Radiant Wise Spirit by Scarabeo. I think that's how you pronounce his name, but anyway, let's dive into Marco Rubio. Okay, so the forces in motion in his life. Wow. His challenges. Okay. His karma from past lives. His specific karma for this lifetime. What he's destined to experience based on, all of his, thoughts, deeds, actions, attitudes, how he has exercised his free will. Okay. And his professional future. Wow. And his personal future. Okay, so let me just scooch these cards up here, get them in frame. I may draw some more cards, we'll see. Okay. So, the forces in motion here with the Queen of Swords reversed, that's like just ruthless. You can see in the card. This could be intelligence if it's straight up, but intelligence and independence. Like an independent thinker and a woman who thinks on her own, thinks for herself, and is transformed to the point to where she's a very, very clear thinker. This can be a female attorney as well. But reversed, yikes, that's, I think that's more than challenging, actually, especially for him. So, yeah, it feels like a woman in his life, honestly, but. And so this woman in his life, and I don't know anything about him personally. I came into this reading very cold, you know what I mean, like a cold reading, or I didn't do any research on him. It's just that a couple of people have asked about him, and I've had him on my list, and he kept popping into my mind the last couple of days. So I thought, go ahead, let's do it. But anyway, so I don't know if he's married or has a girlfriend. I imagine he's married. Most of these guys are, but I don't know. But regardless, this is somebody who's cold-hearted and, just careless about their lives and dishonest and, critical. The sword just like cuts deep down inside because they can just be very cruel. So I don't know if this is an aspect of him, but I get the feeling, I honestly get the feeling that this is a woman in his life. And you guys are going to have to fill me in, or I'll do some research after, because I don't know. I'll draw some more, here, let's just draw some more cards right now. What is this Queen of Swords about? Is it a person? Oh, hold on. Oh, I'm so curious now. Okay, so who is this Queen of Swords, or more information about this Queen of Swords? So somebody he works with. Someone he works with. And someone who isn't very sensitive or trustworthy. Wow. Yeah, with this Page of Cups, someone who's so this is either someone he works with or someone he collaborates with, or some dark money forces, some woman who has Oh, I get it. This is some woman who's been in charge of how much money he gets, receives, from like a super PAC or something like that. And the offer is no longer valid. Like whoever this person is, she's no longer dishing out the goods. This is a relationship that's gone bad, and it's a broken deal. So this is somebody who, whether it's a wife, but I really feel like it's somebody who donated dark money, who's been in charge of a dark money super PAC, something like that. Okay, so I'll let that go. His challenge is to take a stand for himself, to stand up for himself. I love this card, especially in this deck. See the shoes? He's got two different shoes on. He's like straddling. He's up against a cliff, and he's having to like straddle two realms and protect himself. And he's been at it for so long trying to stay on top that this day he didn't even get two of the same shoes on. And you can see, the image in the face. He's stressed out. It's like, oh my God, what do I do? So it's just this battle to try and stay on top. I think it's just to stay on top. And to, protect himself and admit in the midst of the fact that he's losing his funding. That's really interesting. He could be, overwhelmed too, because this is in the challenge position. When a card's in a challenge position, you can read the reversed, use the reversed meaning, which would have him being out of control and overwhelmed and, just maybe even giving up because it's kind of like a waste of time. So, okay, his past life karma that he came in with, well, he came in with a lot of karmic debt. And most likely, there was, an abuse of his power. And, it's lots of, this card is often, when it's reversed, it's the card of, strings are attached. And because we have these cards here, I have to say, attached to dark money. So in his last lifetime, he wasn't clean financially. And I never mean that, like, if somebody has a, bankruptcy that they've have to gone through or tremendous, debt, there's no karmic judgment on that at all. I'm just saying that based on these cards and his political position, the place, what he has done all his life with his life force, it's a very different picture for him. Because this is a card of frauds, fraudsters, scam artists, people who abuse money, people who are grifters who take a cut of funds that come in, things like that. So that's where he came from. Now, this specific karma, and on another level too, it could be that because of that karma, that's the type of thing that he will be exposed to. Like somebody could pull a fast one on him. I mean, I think that Donald Trump certainly has. I mean, I believe he's stuck up for him all this time. I'm not sure. I haven't paid a lot of attention to him, honestly. But anyway, specific karma for this lifetime is the Knight of Swords reversed. Now, this card to me actually is a little better reversed. But I don't know if that's the case, for him. Because when it's straight up, of course, I mean, it's it's just charging into a battle recklessly and going so fast that even your horse is scared and you're too stupid to put your helmet down, you know, and your sword isn't even pointed in the right way. I mean, you're just an idiot. So reversed, I think that slows him down a bit more. It feels to me, though, like he's one of those kind of guys that'll just, like, break the rules. And again, you know, look at these swords going down. Like, there's just this self-doubt and lack of direction. So he seems to me like a kind of guy that needs to be told what to do, and he'll do whatever they say because they have the money. And now he's having to protect himself from that, and he's got this karma to back all that up. And then here we go with what he's bound to experience in this lifetime. With the Eight of Pentacles reversed, I think that that's not having a job, not having work. You know, eventually, I think he's just going to have, you know, like his political career is just done. At the very least, he has no inspiration and no passion for his work. You know, I mean, you can see it in the cards. And, you know, when this card's straight up, this is like high quality work. You know, this card here is one of someone with skills, but this is the dark money in this situation, I'm sure. This, you know, I would love to see people like this, like making license plates the rest of their lives, but, you know, it doesn't tend to work out that way for white-collar crimes. But reversed, at the very least, he just doesn't have any high-quality, you know, consciousness to his craft, his work, and what he does. He doesn't care. He's just sloppy. Now, his professional future, with the Nine of Cups reversed, well, this is very, very unfulfilled. This brings in, you know, addictions, financial loss. It brings in, you know, a person with some self-hatred. And of course that would be true for him because he's tied, I can tell by, I mean, look at all these pentacles and swords. This, I mean, at least we have these 2 cups, well, 3 cups here. But we have no major arcanas. And you can tell that there's been a lot of, you know, like mental energy that's gone into just having money. And his, you know, it's one of those unfortunate, well, no, actually, I think it's perfect the way the universe works. But it's one of those situations where he's just another one of those guys who his self-esteem is tied to how much money he has. And it's not working out. This is not working out. Yeah, so it feels to me like addictions. It feels like just, you know, really like inwardly kind of broken. Like, now what do I do? Because maybe there is a lot of debt still in this lifetime. You know, finances are not working out for him. So, you know, this is a card also of a greedy person. So in his professional future, he's going to at least act greedy and try to go for the money. But this is not a successful card. So let me, let's scooch these over and I'll draw some more cards here. Actually, let's leave it this way. Let me draw one more card. I'll put another card here for his professional. So more about his professional future. Yeah, he's just going to keep plodding along in a mercenary fashion, going for the cash. That's what he's going to do. Personally, with the Eight of Cups, you know, I mean, there's a couple of ways to read this card, or there's several ways actually, but I like to look at it as, is the person going to take self-responsibility or not? Because I see all the eights as being power cards. Numerically the 8 has to do with your power and how you use it. And it's ruled, all the 8's ruled by the strength card. So I don't see strength here in any of these cards. And I think he's going to personally walk away from taking self-responsibility. And I also think he's going to be pretty lonely. So I don't know if maybe there's another level of meaning here where there's a divorce. So let me draw a couple more cards for his personal future. Yeah, oh goodness, this is a conflict at home, and this is a divorce card. So personally, I think that's what's going down there. Yeah, well, and there's the moon reversed. Ooh, and the tower reversed. Okay, so with the moon reversed, this could be like a guy that ends up kind of going crazy, At the very least, personally, some secrets are going to come out. But I think he has a divorce in his future. And then with the tower reversed, wow. It's like he's really, really afraid of letting go. There's a lot of wasted energy, and his strength is going nowhere. But he might avoid some type of a loss, but then there's the secrets that come out. So I'm not really sure about, let me feel into this combo here. So definitely divorce. I think he's going to be walking away from what because he's not going to take responsibility for anything. He's just going to try and get away. This card to me feels really oppressive. And there's some secret that comes out. Wow. Wow, I wonder what the secret's about. I mean, this can be, I think it's some type of financial crime, honestly. I think there's some kind of financial crime where he was maybe skimming, yeah, like getting some money off the top. But it's like, he doesn't see it coming. Of course, I would hope he would remember what he's done. But then again, sometimes people are so greedy and so dark that they wind up doing so much that they forget what they've done, conveniently. Wow. Let me pause this, and I'll drop the camera down and use, I'm trying to decide if I should use the Kipper or the Lenormand. I think I'll use the Kipper because I think that it'll show other people involved. Okay, so I'm going to pause this. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm using Ciro Marchetti's little Kipper deck. It has a few extra cards in it. So, Marco Rubio. Let's look at more information about his past and what it's going to bring in the future for him. Okay. So our theme here is some man besides the woman who showed up, this Queen of Swords, in the tarot. I still have the cards up here, reversed. Besides some woman, with the dark money, who's no longer funding, it looks like we have some guy with money, some older guy with money that has influenced his wife or has some control over his wife. Because here's his wife and here's him. This is Marco Rubio, this is his wife. And this is a big problem right here with this concern card. And he's looking, the concern is all about him and his wife. This is a card of being utterly helpless, very, very insecure, which, we had that in these other cards up here. And of course, we've got the divorce card here. But, these other cards this is insecure. This is insecure. This is terribly, terribly, terribly empty and insecure. So we can say his future will keep him feeling, like he maybe can't even concentrate on his daily, because if he can't even concentrate on his daily life, because I think he's worried about getting caught about something. These are awful cards, and this is hanging down over him. So here we have a court document. This is probably a subpoena. At the very least, it's an investigation. And it could be over like tax fraud. It could be over, there's some type of a dispute, something that has to do with money, because we've got that clearly from the tarot. We know it's about money, but this could be, a subpoena that's delivered to his house, and maybe even taken on by a person who works there for him, delivered to her or him, and then maybe even like directly to his wife. And he has a lot of stress over this. This is like the tortured card, like where you're just tortured in your thoughts and you just can't. And then it's, this card touching this card makes them both stronger. And then this one here, this, if it's not actually going to, going to be incarcerated for a short amount of time or any time at all, it's at least being restricted and stopped. I wish this card was like always about being in prison, but it's not. It can sometimes just be stopped, like where a person's stopped, restricted. Like the Hanged Man in tarot, or like the Eight of Swords in tarot. But it's also a card of secrets. And it's something that you can't get out of. It can often be your own self-created prison, where he's trapped himself in a really bad situation. And now he's all alone and isolated. He's got this little rat here with him, though. Yeah. So that's interesting. So he's worried. This is what he's worried about. He's worried about getting locked up. So he's guilty of something. He's definitely guilty of something. And, you know, I'm looking at these cards as being the past, present, and then future. So maybe something, maybe a subpoena has already been delivered to him, or something that has him realizing that he's being investigated and he's worried about it. I have no idea who this guy is, who this wealthy man is. But we could tell by the tarot that the money's been cut off. Now, usually, well, this card is definitely, if it's not divorce, then it's at least like family arguments, you know, or some conflict in the home. And now I'm wondering if like he's worried about losing his house. Because when I see these two together, like they're looking at each other, you know, if it would have been like he's over here and she's over here, then it's like, okay, her back's to him and his back's to her. They're not getting along, right? But it didn't come through that way. It came through that there's some wealthy man that has influence over her, but she's still looking to Marco, whoever this person is. I would think that he's married. If it's not a wife, then it would be a close partner. And in his case, then it would be a partner in crime. And they both have the wealthy man hanging over. And they've both worked for the wealthy man. In addition to, you know, the document coming to their house. But, so I think he's worried about losing his home. If it is a, you know, if this is one of those times where you don't go with the rule that because they're looking at each other, they're getting along fine. If it is an actual like divorce situation, he's worried about losing property over it. So there's that. So I think that's to answer our question about what was the, you know, Tower reversed about and the Moon reversed. I think, you know, the message is here. Like he's just in a lot of fear. And he might be able to keep his house. Maybe his wife keeps his house or whatever. But he's being stopped, and he might even be locked up. He's done something. I don't know what he's done. Now I'm kind of curious, and I'll have to go research. But I'll leave it up to you guys to drop in the comments. I love your comments. You know, except for the few every once in a while that I get there just, you know, spam. But yeah, let me know anything you know. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to wrap this one up, get it uploaded, and I'll be back later. Thanks, you guys. Take good care. Bye.